Hello again, Sagittarius. It's August 2019. As if you didn't know that, I'm Dadhichi from astrology.com.au. There are usually two conflicting paths in life. People think you either have to be spiritual, which is shown by this very strong cluster of planets, and a new moon on the 1st of August in your 9th house. This is considered the spiritual part of the horoscope. Of course, having so many planets there would seem to dictate that this is important. And then there's the other side of the coin, which is our material, financial, professional, practical sort of life. And this month, I think what you're going to find is that actually there aren't two separate parts or two separate components of life. It's got more to do with the way we perceive the practical affairs of life and giving that an upturn. Because all of these planets, including that new moon, will later in the month, as you see, shift from this purely spiritual, higher mind area of your horoscope to this practical Virgo sign, which is your work, career, self-development. This also has to do with this second house where we see the lingering Saturnian transit with Pluto and your past karma point. So these parts of the horoscope are going to take on new dimensions, but we can't avoid this new moon in the 9th house. What that shows us is a perspectual change on what it is you're doing at this time, not just what's happening in your life. Doesn't matter what happens in your life. And I say this all the time to clients and students. You can meet some of the most successful people. Look at that. That's a lovely conjunction there on the 10th. Conjunction of the moon and Jupiter, giving you a really buoyant sort of approach and a popularity. But that success, just getting back to the point, people can achieve millionaire status, they can become famous and successful. Why do they kill themselves? Why do they commit suicide? Why are they miserable when they get to that point? And I've had plenty of clients like that. That's got to do with the perspective. It's got to do with the fact that it doesn't matter what you acquire. And here we see, leading up to the full moon, the financial circumstances causing troubles or making you feel a little bit down. It's the perspective on that. The new moon shows a shift as well because it's casting its energy back on this 9th house stellium. Notice also Mercury, ruler of your 7th house or partnerships moving into this same area. This is a dominant theme for you and shows how important it is when you analyze case studies, thousands of people who attain happiness, who achieve that material component of their lives, but still never find that happiness. That happiness is also shown by the transit of the moon through this 4th house around the 17th. Ideals are very, very strong. Moon makes its conjunction with retrograde Neptune. Very, very important planet, and it's going to be staying here for many, many years. So you have an opportunity to rethink that. Mars moves to your 10th house. You see, so now, around the 18th, 19th, we start to see this sequence of planets that were here in your 9th house, giving you an upturn, having a think about your ideals, your philosophical views, your beliefs, your religious ideals, shifting to this 10th house, the practical affairs of your life. What is it you're going to do in your practical life, and how are you going to find that happiness, irrespective of the problems that you endure in that area? It has to come from within yourself. Sudden and unexpected changes in your work with the Moon-Uranus combination in your 6th house around the 21st. Then Venus moving into the upper part of your horoscope along with Mars. Now, I have to say, Sagittarius, that Venus is not well placed in that sign of Virgo. Over-socializing, trying to be too kind and friendly may work against you. And that's going to be the case also when the planet of ideals for you, the sun, not really a planet, just for want of a better word, enters into this 10th house and starts to do what we call combustion. The rays of the sun are going to burn up Mars and Venus at this time. So you have to be careful how you play your cards at this time. Generally, if you play your cards right, the sun here is one of the best periods of the year when you can achieve a whole lot. It gives directional strength, what we call Digbala, to the sun and Mars here in the 10th house, offering you opportunities to achieve better status, better financial opportunities, and even perhaps a new job. That particular line of thought is also shown by here Mercury, which makes its way into this 10th house on the 29th, and that's going to be followed by the new moon, which takes place on the very last day of the month, the 31st. So you can see here communication, a lot of different sorts of energy taking place here. And notice how it's all shifted from this 9th house of ideals, planning, the higher mind, education. For those of you that are studying, this could be a real epiphany in terms of figuring out exactly what it is you want to do on the practical level. But for those of you that are already on that practical level, this is a time when you integrate your ideals, your feelings, and bring alignment to what you feel about what you do and what you actually do. That, of course, brings in its wake a lot more happiness, self-satisfaction, and really what I would consider, would you agree, true success. Take a look at astrology.com.au, folks. We've got the chronological transits there for you that you can read through as an adjunct to the reading I've done here today. Subscribe. Why not subscribe? And why not consider having a personal reading where we can make a lot more sense out of this if we overlay that on the exact time and place that you were born. That's the real astrology. This, as I call the Oracle Express, just a very brief synopsis for millions of people born under the sun sign of Sagittarius. That personalized reading is going to give you a lot more insight. See you next month. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.